Coming up in this two-part video series, we are joined by medical historian Jennifer Bolton as she demonstrates and teaches about making medicine from the 18th century. Discover what medical practitioners like Dr. Jonathan Potts might provide to his patients and community at his practice and apothecary.
If you were ill in the 18th century, you might be growing your own medicines in a kitchen garden. But whatever you could not produce yourself, you might go to a druggist or Potts's case, an apothecary, where you could buy medicines either in their raw form or ready-made. Like any pharmacy this day, you could buy other things such as candies, chocolates, playing cards, and the like. So we're going to make a few of the medicines that would have been available to the people of Reading, Pennsylvania, where Jonathan Potts was practicing in the 18th century. So the medicines that we're making this day all come from William Lewis's 1765 edition of the New Dispensatory. Dispensatories were books that medical practitioners like Dr. Jonathan Potts would have used not only to consult and find out about the medical properties of different ingredients, but also how to compound medicines. They have different receipts or recipes for making different things. So today we're making what's called Cardialgic Troches. Troche is Latin for wheel-like form, so it's similar in shape to a lozenge, if you will. And cardialgic troches are basically your 18th century Tums and Rolaids, and they were used to combat heartburn. And they're made out of chalk and oyster shell. So we're going to make that. They're not too different in composition from what you might use this day, but please just go to your medical professional or keep it to the over-the-counter stuff that's been approved by the FDA. So we have our various ingredients already here on the table. That includes oyster shells that have been prepared, so they're already ground up. White chalk that's powdered, and both of these are 2 ounces each. We have our gum arabic, which is half an ounce. Gum arabic was used in the 18th century as a food binder, but also as a binder for medicines, like cardialgic troches. We have nutmeg that's already ground. This is half a dram, and 8 drams was equivalent to 1 ounce. And we have our white sugar, 6 ounces. Some common water, a sufficient quantity as to put all this together. So let's talk about troches. This has been a fun experiment today. I've had the pleasure of speaking about 18th century medicine and cardialgic troches to visitors and people, members of the general public over the years, but this has been my first time actually trying to make them, and it's been a fun bit of experimental archaeology, and you kind of get a better respect for the knowledge and education of someone like Dr. Jonathan Potts and what he would have gone through, because with these receipts, some of them pretty much take you through the recipe and you know exactly how to do things. There's a lot of good direction there. And then there's others, such as these cardialgic troches, where you have to kind of figure it out as you go. They just assumed that you knew what to do because you had the background, you had the experience, you had the education. We had some fun with the chalk in the beginning of this. We found that it was clumping up to a high degree, even when it was powdered. So we ended up having to use a sieve to sift it, and at the end of that it looked like a powdered sugar, but it was able to be better incorporated with the other ingredients. Right now we've been able to make a few troches, and we'll let them sit in the sun and see how they turn out. And if you're interested in seeing some of the reproduced medicines here at Pottsgrove Manor, come check them out. But again, please don't try this at home. Just go to your science-based or evidence-based doctor.
Pottsgrove Manor is a proud part of the County of Montgomery's Division of Parks, Trails, and Historic Sites. Uncover more about the social and medical world of Dr. Jonathan Potts with our digital exhibit companion, linked in the description box below. Our thanks to Jennifer Bolton for her insight and knowledge. Make sure to check out part 2 for more about 18th century medicine.